Alright guys, so here we are in the last ingredient in our Pro Marketer's Money formula. Now, it's time to address the elephant in the room. A lot of people might think, well, now that I have my system set up, that's all nice, but how do I actually get leads to my landing page? Well, I'm going to show you, and it's actually a lot simpler than you might think. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can get as much targeted traffic to your landing page as you want anytime on demand. I'm actually going to give you some resources that you can actually go to and start getting traffic to your landing page, start building your list and making sales as early as tomorrow. So if you're ready, let's get started right now. Get right into it. So what is the best way to get traffic? Well, there are literally hundreds of ways to drive traffic to your landing page. But the easiest and the fastest way that I found is what's called the OPL method. Now this is called the Other People's List method. It's also known as solo ad. So what is a solo ad? Well, basically with the solo ad, what you do is you purchase a certain amount of clicks or views to your ad or your swipe. And you purchase that from someone who already has a cultivated list within that same niche. Now that person will send out your email or your swipe to his or her list with your links embedded that will go to your landing page. So when his subscriber clicks on your link, they will go to your landing page, they will opt in, and then they will be added to your list. And then from there, your marketing will take over, and then now you can market to that person as much as you can. And the more that you do that, the larger your list will grow. And so, with solo ads, you can actually buy as many or as few clicks as you want to get as many or as few visitors to your site that you need. Now, one of the largest and the most trusted sites on the net to buy quality solo ads is called SafeSwaps.com. And that's the one that I personally used when I first started out. So what I want to show you, you can actually set up a free account. So right below this video, there is a button that says SafeSwaps. Go ahead and click that button. I want to show you how to set up your account and how you can start to use SafeSwaps to start building your list today. Alright, so let's get right into it. It's super easy to set up your account. All you have to do is put in your name, your email address, and your password. Hit create account. And I already have mine set up, so I'm just going to take you guys there right now and show you exactly how to do it. If you need to pause the video right now to finish setting up your account, that's fine. And then just come back here in a second. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go up to where it says search. And this is where we're going to find our solo ads basically. And we can search by different criteria, by the number of clicks, by the price. We can sort by a lot of different things here, even by the niche. So, whatever you want, you can search by that. So if you want just a few clicks, let's say you just want maximum 200 clicks, you can set it to maximum 200. And you can also adjust up and down the price per click that you want to pay. So if you want to pay, let's say 35 cents per click, just, go over to 35 cents and you're all good. So you want to make sure that you're also looking at high ratings, and you want to make sure they're available and they have a high score as well. And right here you can put in the actual niche if you need to change the niche. If you're selling a book on how to grow better tomato plants, you can put in gardening or something like that, and the niche or the list within that niche will come up so that you can make sure you're sending your ads out to the right people. Alright, so then we're just going to hit search, and it's going to bring up all of the relevant solo ad sellers that are selling within those terms. So we see here there's a few, and all we want to do really is make sure that they're within what we want. So right here at the top we can see 35 cents. His list is about 800 strong. Right below that is 34 cents, about the same size of a list. 30 cents per click. So let's just try this first guy here, Mark Jameson. He sounds pretty official, right? So let's see what Mark Jameson has. And what we want to do once we go to his site is we want to switch over right to solo seller, because we're buying a solo ad, right? So we're going to come down and we're actually going to see what some of his reviews. And we can see that he's got 38 percent opt-in here. One guy here, out of like 1,000 has a bad review. There's always going to be a hater somewhere, but you can come down and see some of the rest of his reviews. We can see that most people are giving him really good reviews. So once we realize, okay, he's a pretty, has a pretty good reputation, we can actually send him a message. And when we send him a message, we actually, before we even buy the solo ad before we do anything. We just want to get some information from him. All right, so right down here is where we're going to send him a private message to get that information. So here's what the message is going to look like. It's basically going to say, hey, Mark, or whatever his name was, I'm looking at, at your profile. It looks pretty good. You have some great reviews. I would love to buy a solo ad from you. And I would like to just get, between 100 to 200 clicks right now, and maybe a lot more even in the future. But I just want to ask you a few questions first. And here's what you want to ask him. You want to say, when is the next time you can email your list? Now, this is important because some people don't like to email their list a lot. Maybe they only email their list, once a week. So if he just emailed his list yesterday, you might have to wait 6 days before he even sends out your ad to his email list. And if you're wanting, immediate traffic tomorrow, well, obviously this might be somebody who you may not want to buy a solo ad from. But if he's willing to send it out for you tomorrow, well, then you know that, this might be a viable candidate. The second question is, have you ever promoted and then just put in whatever your offer is? If it's an ebook about tomatoes, have you ever promoted, Crazy Tomatoes to your list before? And if so, when's the last time? Now, this is important because if he just promoted Crazy Tomatoes, last week, the gardening people, when they see it again, guess what? They're not going to really opt into your list because they just saw Crazy Tomatoes last week. So it's not something that, it's something that if he just promoted your offer, you may want to go to someone else who hasn't promoted that offer before ever, or who has promoted it a long time ago. The third question is, what is your normal opt-in percentage? Now, this is important because you want to stay right above, right about 40% is the average, 40 to 35%. If it's way below that, then there's probably a disconnect with his list. They probably aren't too active, so you might want to stay away from that. You also want to ask him, does he have a buyer's list? Now, this is important because if there are people on his list who have already bought products, well, then you know that they're already apt to pull out their credit card and purchase something as long as it provides them value. So those are the 4 questions that you want to ask. But let's say you went ahead and sent him the message, you had a conversation, he answered your questions, and now you're ready to buy a solo ad from him. So you would just go back to Mark, and then right here, this button that says Buy Solo, all you have to do is click that button there, and it's going to take you to this page here. Now, it has some information about the actual solo ad. The way that you actually purchase the solo is you actually put money into your Safe Swaps account, and you don't actually pay Mark directly, so everything is handled internally. So what you do is, as you can see, I only have, $1.20 in mine right now. I haven't used this account in a long time. But what you can do is, once you are too low, just hit top up. You just put in your, how much you want to put in, and then once you've set up your credit card information and everything, all they do is they put that money into your account, and you can use that money to buy solo ads now. So basically, once you have that information in, you can determine, how many clicks you want and for what price. So let's say I wanted, 100 clicks, but let's say, I was thinking about getting a little bit more. I can just click on 100 clicks, scroll down to however many I want, say 180, and there's the new price. But let's say that's too rich for my blood. I kind of want to just do 100 right now, just testing something out, and it's back to 35. So once I do that, I have to actually edit my swipe. Now, the swipe is the actual ad or the email that is going to go to his list. So what do you actually put in your swipe? Well, especially if you're just starting out, it's best to just keep things simple. So here is a template that you can use that gets very good results, especially for beginners. Basically, what you want to say is, in your subject line, you want to say how to, and then you want to put your solution to something in a certain time period, right? And then in the body of the actual email, you're going to say something to the effect of, are you sick and tired of, taking some action only to, continue to have this same problem? Well, then this might be the most important email you've ever read. And then this is very important. What you want to do is you want to repeat your landing page headline. Now, why do you want to do that? Well, basically, this email is going to send them to your landing page. So whenever they read this email, you want to make sure that the message is consistent. If there's any inconsistency between the ad that they click on and then the landing page that they come to, they might say, what's going on here? This isn't what I signed up for. This isn't what I wanted. and they're just going to leave your landing page, and you're not going to really get too many opt-ins. So what I like to do is I like to repeat the landing page headline word for word. That way there's that consistency that links the two together. So right below that, all you're going to do in the click here, again, you're going to hyperlink your landing page URL. And then basically once they click your landing page URL, they're going to go to your landing page again, opt in, and then from there your marketing will take over. So let me just show you an example of what an actual email will look like once you send it to them. So for my particular offer, it would say in the subject line, how to make $5,000 per month in 90 days. And then in the body, it would say something to the effect of, are you sick and tired of wasting your time and your money, spinning your wheels in your online business only to make little or no money online? Then this might be the most important email you have ever read. And then notice that this is the exact word for word from the landing page that we created earlier. Learn how to go from $0 to $5,000 on autopilot. All right, I can't talk today. Faster than you ever thought possible. And then right below that, all I'm going to do is where it says click here, I'm just going to hyperlink in my landing page so that when they click there, they're going to go directly to my landing page. And that's basically how simple it is. And then at that point, once you've put that in, I just went ahead and copied and pasted that here. All you're going to do is hit the buy button and you're done, really. At that point, the person who sold you the solo ad, they're basically going to send out that ad, that swipe that you just created, to their list. Now, some people might edit it just a little bit if it doesn't, let's say, make sense, or if it, isn't quite with the way that they like it. It is their list, so they can kind of control that just a little bit. But for the most part, if you send out an ad with this in the template that I just showed you, it's going to go through like that. So at that point, they're going to send that email to their list, and you are guaranteed to get at least 1,000 or 100 people, or depending on however many clicks you purchased, to your landing page. Now at that point, it depends on how well your landing page was built to see what type of opt-in rate that you get. Now fortunately, because we're using lead pages, it's already optimized for high opt-in percentages, so we can be pretty rest assured that our offer is going to do pretty well, and it's going to get high opt-in rates. And that's how you start to build your list. That's how you start to get people on your list. Just easy as that, and it took maybe just a few minutes to ask a few questions, to write your solo ad, your swipe, and then just send it out, and then the next day you can start getting traffic directly to your site. So I just want to go over again, just the 4 pillars of online success that we've gone through in this entire video series. First, you want to have a great product to promote. Secondly, you want to have your own custom landing page so that you can separate yourself from the competition. Thirdly, you want to have a great autoresponder so that you can start to build trust and build a relationship with your list. And then fourth, you want to have easy traffic that you can get at any time so that you can start to build your list as early as tomorrow, even if you wanted to. So that's basically the 4 pillars of online success, and it's that simple, And I'm not going to say it's easy, but I will say that it is simple. It's not very difficult to learn. Anything worth having, any business, is going to take some hard work. But in the next video, I actually want to show you how you can make it just a little bit easier, actually a lot easier, when you just put everything on autopilot. You take all these steps, these 4 steps here, you condense it down into 1 step, and I'm going to show you that right now on autopilot. So what I want you to do, go down, do the action steps below first before you advance, and then I want you to go to the last video, and I'll see you guys there.